Hello, Patriots, and welcome back to the Patriot Dad channel. Today, we're doing a reaction to the highly recommended The Fighter and the Kid podcast episode featuring Tom MacDonald. I've enjoyed all of the interviews so far. Tom and Roseanne just released their song. Reaction is on the channel not long after we published our reaction to that. I don't know if they have any future endeavors between The Fighter and the Kid and Tom. We'll find out on today's episode, but if they do, here's to hoping it happens soon. Let's get this pulled up and get right into it, shall we?
Yes, we did, 'cause we back at it again. It's the fighter and the kid.
This is really The Fighter and the Kid.
Nice intro sound.
Tom MacDonald, been a fan for a while. Glad you're here.
Thanks, brother.
Yeah, I tried getting on a while. Jelly Roll connected us. Jelly Roll's your boy.
That's right.
Yeah, Jelly Roll connected
Yep.
us. You're like, this is
Okay.
the guy, man. He has the same hustle, man. He's doing the damn thing. He's fighting the good fight. And I looked in you, I'm like, man, is he fighting? That boy's.
Well, it's fighting with art and smart. It's like there's that great saying by Einstein, criticize by creating. It's kind of what you do.
It's what I've been doing, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think I'm going to like this interview already. That is an amazing quote. We are off to a great start on this one.
if Jelly would be able to say that, give me the same glowing review these days now that he's sort of at the Grammys. and stuff.
superstar?
Yeah.
He's such a good guy, though.
He's amazing.
Yeah.
He's amazing.
Yeah, I don't know how it is. I don't, he's. Who would have thought? Like he's just like he's hosting American Idol, like American Idol, like Jelly Roll has tattoos on his face. He's like an American Idol.
Yeah.
He's at the Grammys.
Gives hope for guys like me, man.
Yeah,
yes,
yeah.
It's a matter of time, bro.
Yeah.
You've got Ben Shapiro. You got other people in the mix. It's exciting.
I don't know if you go from rap song with Ben Shapiro to hosting American Idol, but like you never know.
never know
And the
these days.
the fact that
They
you
need
made-
ratings.
Yeah.
That's true.
It's
That's true.
And the fact that you made that work, like I was like a Ben Shapiro, and it was really
Yeah, really well done.
yeah.
Thanks, man. Thank
It
you.
was musically kind of like it worked.
Just like his song with Roseanne. You can check out the Ben Shapiro reaction as well.
Well, I mean, Ben did his thing, man. Like, it was actually, I was horrified. Like, when we first met with Ben's team and we did a little interview on the Shapiro show, and Ben kind of made a joke about, like, oh, like, maybe we can do a rap song together sometime. And we both just kind of laughed at it. And then the second the interview ended, I walked into the living room and Nova's sitting on the couch, and I was like, we got to get Ben on a rap song. Like,
So it was your idea?
yeah.
Well, we should mention that Nova Rockefeller was your best friend and now your girl.
Yeah.
And has been for a long time.
Yeah.
And she is 100% Illuminati.
Confirmed.
Confirmed
You heard it here.
100% Illuminati.
Yeah, as of today, yeah, confirmed. 100%.
Yeah, she's
Okay.
you can see that, and there are people right now. You guys came here, and for any of you conspiracy theories, and you know I don't believe in conspiracies, but
this
there are
one?
a lot of black vans, SUVs, and black helicopters, including the windows blacked out. So I don't know what the fuck is going on, but I like it.
So Tom, you're totally independent, and with your success, have any of the big wigs come sniffing around? Because usually they don't care; they just want numbers.
Yeah, tons of times.
All
Like,
right.
we've gone for meetings at where was it, Nova? Something Sony. Yeah, but tons of times. Like I did a whole video on my Instagram one time of replying to label emails. So there's one there from University.
Okay, I'm gonna write that one down because I want to see if I can find that and react to it because that's gonna be great. All right, wrote that down.
And one there from Warner, and I was hitting them back with these like hilarious responses, like quoting Pink Floyd and "We don't want your record deal,"
Yeah.
and sending replies to them. So they've come sniffing around like a bunch of times. But
why don't you ever want to do that?
well, I think it's like it's multiple things. Like one, like I've spent my entire career like doing what I want, when I want, saying what I want, how I want to do it. So I'm like not interested in being, controlled in any way, shape, or form by one of these.
And guys, that is what economic freedom really is. Freedom is having enough money to only interact with the people that you want, to not have to do things you don't want. He already has freedom. Why would he sign a deal that would put him in chains?
Labels. And it's just like, I'm not interested in having my message changed. I'm not here to do like overproduced, wrapped in plastic, mass manufactured bullshit. Like that's not for me.
When was the moment that you decided you were going to start talking the way you do, rapping the way you do? Like was there a moment where you looked at the world and went, I got to do something here?
Yeah, it was like kind of like it was kind of a fucked up situation, honestly. Like, it's like kind of embarrassing, but like I used to make the same type of music that I sort of am critical of now in hip hop. Like, I used to make tons of records about cars and clothes and drinking and partying and drugs and girls and all that shit. Like, I was emulating what my favorite rappers were doing in my music, which I think a lot of people do that when they first start out. So I did that for a while, but
Yeah, guys, that's if you're trying to start something from scratch, you try and emulate the people that you see are already successful in that space. That's what he's talking about. He was trying to be a successful rapper, so he saw how rappers were rapping in that space, the messages, the style, and he was emulating it. And it wasn't until he found his own niche, found his own style, and did his own thing and was genuine to himself that he did well.
the problem was like I wasn't just like emulating it creatively. I started like living like that. And I was like drinking all the time and partying all the time and valuing the wrong shit, which led to like a pretty acute stint with like alcoholism. Like I was an alcoholic for like a long time, like, and it was like gnarly.
But
Like
those bars were fire.
yeah, yeah, it was hard.
Bars were fire.
Yeah.
By the way, I'm so
That-
old
wait,
that I
wait.
was like, bars?
Yeah, was that like a
Bars.
double entendre that you did? Yeah, that fire. So you know, I started like emulating that lifestyle, which led down to like just a wicked stint with alcoholism, and that accumulated into like a massive mental break. Like I got home from the club one night at like 3 a.m. and I was laying in bed, and I had like Jimmy Fallon or some shit on my laptop to just fall asleep, and all of a sudden like I had this weird rush of something. I'm not sure what it was. And I got to get out of bed, and it wasn't like the drunk wobbles. It was like, I turned my head and the whole room went like, and then my heart starts pounding in my chest. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm going to fucking die. I'm having a fucking heart attack. Like, what the fuck is going on? And I spent from 3 a.m. till 9 a.m. the next day, like walking from my bedroom to my bathroom. I'd look in the mirror. I was so white, I didn't even recognize myself. And I'd walk back to my bedroom, and it was dark, and I'd turn the lights on. And then by the time I got back to the bathroom, back to my bedroom, the lights were bothering me, and I'd turn the lights off. Like I was losing it. I was just losing my mind.
Yeah, that doesn't sound good or healthy. And we've heard this story a couple of times now with all these interviews, but yeah, it sounds awful. And you guys in the comments have given me some feedback that it's not some of the things that I originally thought it was, that it is an anxiety attack. I've never had one of those. Hopefully I never do. Hearing him describe them, they sound awful. To those of you that have had them, pray up. It sounds miserable. So I hope you don't get them anymore. I hope you find a way out.
So I had this big mental break, and I was like laying on the floor, and I called my mom, and she didn't answer, and I left her like a really scary voicemail on her phone. Like, I need help. Like something's, you know, going
Wrong.
something's going south. So like my ma ended up, like I went to all these doctors, and they put me on all these pills. Like they put me on Ativan, they put me on Seroquel, they put me on like all this different types of shit, Cipralex, and nothing was helping. I was just like mentally not there. I couldn't talk on the phone. I couldn't go outside. I couldn't exercise. I was like, I couldn't eat. Like I'd wake up in the morning, I'd fry one egg, and I'd eat one egg a day, and I'd be like gagging, trying to get one egg down. I was so sick. So this whole thing.
And this was a mental thing going on.
Yeah, it was like some sort of like acute anxiety, depression, like just totally dissociated from the world around me. Like it was gnarly. So this went on for like 10 months. I had to, my ma got like a friend of mine to break into my house, kidnap me, take me to the airport, put me on a plane, and send me home.
How old were you?
This is like 6 years ago. So like 28 or 29. Wow. So, yeah, so I went back home and lived with my...
But you know what? We all need friends like that. If you don't have a friend that's willing to break into your house, kidnap you, and get you the help you need, maybe you should start looking for that good friend. It takes a lot of intention to build real, valuable relationships. You can't just sit in your house all day and expect those to happen to you. You can't wait for the world and relationships to happen to you. You must go out and actively make your impression on people and on the world. It takes active participation, not just sitting around in your house. So make sure you get out, make sure you bring value to others, make sure you interact with real human beings, get off the internet every once in a while, touch grass, hug people. It's good for you.
Ma for like 10 months, and it was tough, dude. Like I said 2 things to her every day. I'd wake up in the morning, she'd say, "How you doing?" I'd say, "Not good." She'd go to work. She'd come home from work. She'd say, "How you doing?" I'd say, "Not good." And I'd go to bed. And when I was laying in bed at night, man, I'd have like a podcast playing on my phone, a show on my laptop, because if I wasn't totally surrounded by something, like the silence, I would have killed myself.
Jesus.
Like, it was horrible.
You felt that. You felt truly suicidal.
Yeah, every minute of every day. Like, and then I ended up going to the doctor, and I was like, "Hey, like, I haven't said this in such basic terms to a doctor yet, but like, if you don't give me something right now to like take the edge off, I'm gonna kill myself. I'm not gonna be here tomorrow. Like, I'm gonna kill myself today if you don't give me something." Damn. So he gave me some like kick-ass, like Ativan, Xanax type shit. And I went home and took it, and
Was it the anxiety or the depression?
it was both.
Both.
Right.
It was constant all the time.
above.
Yeah.
Answer is D.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
Yeah, so
Hey, man. So we're like,
I've been through some really dark periods in my life, guys, with my son passing away, with the divorces, with, career changes and all kinds of nonsense that have happened. I've lost people that I've cared about. I've just been through a lot of dark stuff, but only once have I come close. And that was right after my son passed away in 2004. But I was able to get some SSRIs, was on them for a few months, took myself off of them because it's an awful existence. I do not recommend it long term, but yeah, guys, this kind of mental health thing is super dangerous. So I understand pharmaceuticals have a purpose. I understand their place is to help people get their feet under them. But the way that the healthcare system is now is they try to get people on as many pills as possible for as long as possible. And it is just not the way that we are supposed to exist.
like scared.
No, because sometimes you don't know if it's
God,
depression
God.
or anxiety or
It's all the same shit.
Well, yeah.
well, it was a bunch
deal
of
with that?
different shit that all formed this inner turmoil. It was like fucking weird. So I got home and I took this pill that he gave me, and like 30 minutes later I had chilled out, and for like the first time in like 10 months I fucking felt like myself. And I was like, holy shit, like I remembered like who I was. Like, I hadn't made music, I hadn't talked to my friends, like nothing. I was like when you hear people say, "Oh, he's a shell of who he used to be," like I always sort of roll my eyes at like abstract shit like that, and this was that. Damn. Like, I was looking in the mirror and I was like, I look like me, but I don't fucking recognize me. So I took that pill, and I got a hold on like who I was, and I just fucking had a death grip on it. And I just took, the pills for a very short period of time so I could get comfortable feeling in my own body again.
Yes.
Cut off the pills, went to therapy, did a lot of research and reading about mental illness, exercised all the fucking time, cut out all caffeine, all fast food, no soda, no cigarettes, no weed, no alcohol, nothing.
Damn.
Like,
Yeah, I can't cut caffeine out. That's ridiculous. Use our promo code on coffeebrandcoffee.com.
stone cold sober. And sort of like as the smoke started to clear, I was like, I don't want to make music anymore that's going to influence people to go down the same path that I did, because it was so fucking destructive to me. And I feel like that.
And that is part of what his song Dear Rappers is all about, guys. It's why are you pushing these things that are so destructive on your fans? I totally get it. And I'm with him. And I'm so glad he made that change, because the music he makes now actually has meaning and purpose. Whereas the other music that these other artists make is just destructive. Look at our inner cities. Look at the culture around that music now, and tell me that that's long-term sustainable and good for society. I don't know how you could, honestly. I don't.
Type of music, like, if you listen to it, that's fine. I'm critical of it, but like, I'm not like, don't listen to it. Just understand what you're listening to.
Yep.
It's like, this is branding and corporate initiatives and
Marketing.
and marketability. And if you understand that, then I think you're immune to a lot of the negative effects that you can experience from that type of shit.
Yes.
So I would just had this like, this come to Jesus moment where like I had an epiphany, and I was like, I don't want to make that shit no more. I want to, instead of making music that's going to erode people's sort of like morality, like I want to make music that's going to inform people about shit and wake people up and empower people. And that was sort of the moment where I was like, fuck it, I'm going to make music about the shit that I'm truly interested in, which is not cars and clothes and bullshit. It's it's politics. It's the truth behind, it's Truman
facade,
Show shit.
yeah.
Yeah.
Also,
it gets into psychology. That's part of why I found psychology in college so interesting. It's learning why people the way that people. Why do people behave the way they do? What makes them tick? That's interesting. You get into things like sociology, which is like people's excuses as to why when you have people in communities that they tend to interact the way they do, and how communities work when you put a lot of people together in a small place. I find it's just a bunch of excuses, whereas at least psychology is the biochemical mechanisms, the physiology, the things that actually make people tick. I find that extremely interesting. But yeah, the politics, the psychology, like all that stuff that he sings about now, wonderful.
It makes you different.
Yeah.
Like otherwise, you're just another, white rapper rapping about cars and hoes and boats.
Right.
know?
And I think
I don't even know if you're a conspiracy theorist, because when I listen to your lyrics, it's like you're talking about almost like we're being fed bullshit,
Yes.
which is this ideology.
Yep.
And then you're going, but like 2 + 2 is just 4. It's kind of how I look at it.
Yeah.
You're
Yeah.
literally going,
Not 5.
You guys are telling me that 2 + 2 is 16.
Not 22.
And I'm telling you that 2 + 2 is 4.
Yeah.
Because it's just simple math. It's
Yeah.
like, I mean, obviously the way you do it is different, but
yeah, it's
like you're the kind of conspiracy theorist I agree with.
yeah.
They label you a conspiracy theorist?
I mean,
wouldn't.
I kind of am to some degree. Like I'm into that shit.
Well,
just because it's interesting to me. But like,
Yeah.
It's better than what we're being told.
Well,
Yeah.
for sure.
But the conspiracy, like, if you look at, like, they were talking about Ozempic, which is right now, Ozempic is it's a European company.
It got Oprah skinny.
Dude, it's
Oh, it's like a weight loss thing?
Well, it's crazy though, but it's a fucking fascinating thing because so Ozempic comes along. It is, besides statins, the most successful drug in the history of all drugs. Because people are losing an average of 17% of their body weight and all that stuff.
But it's supposed to be for diabetes. That's how it got
Yeah,
yeah,
started.
statin's like a
Statins
cholesterol
for
thing,
cholesterol.
right?
Yeah.
Okay.
But Ozempic is so big that the company itself, I can't remember what it was, but it's more profitable at this point, I think, than any other company ever has been in this short period of time. Like
So the obesity epidemic, it makes
staggering,
sense.
right?
Well, think about it. You just got to take a shot and you
Yes,
don't
but
eat.
here's the thing that they don't tell you. So the Ozempic now it's considered a lifetime drug. They want you on it lifetime. And for the first time,
Okay. Any of those things, guys, you can fix by just changing your lifestyle. The thing is, people are so addicted to their lifestyles, to their gluttony, to their indulgences, that they are willing to go on a lifetime of expensive medication to control their obesity. Like there has to be a long-term complication to this. Like there has to be long-term effects. We don't know enough about these drugs. Hey guys, here's a thought. Just have some more discipline. Go move more, eat less. The formula is not magic.
the National Pediatric Society is saying it's the first line of defense against teen obesity. So if you're a teen,
First.
what they're saying, and now
The first line?
the National Diabetes Association is saying what? They're saying, as long as you're on this medication that we're going to sell you, that's also subsidized by the government, that we make a fortune off of, that Wall Street makes a fortune off of. As long as you're on these drugs, and you're on Ozempic, you never have to change your diet. So keep eating all these simple sugars that big food is selling you.
Yeah.
That's number one. So there's nothing wrong with the way you eat.
That's
now you got
crazy.
Oprah, who comes on and says, oh, by the way, it's not about personal responsibility. If you're obese, it's not your fault. It's a brain problem. She just
I don't even know what you do with that. I mean, there is something to that. It is an addiction to the dopamine hit that you get when you eat. Like, I get it. There is a mental health aspect to it. But to say that it's not like your responsibility as a person is crazy.
said that. You want to talk about a conflict of interest? She makes a fortune with Weight Watchers. So you got to just, all you need is our drug. So Ozempic, now how about this? This is the most incredible thing. Ozempic has, who is their lobbyist? The NAACP, the National Association
What?
of Colored People, black, basically are their lobbyists, because they're saying to Congress, if you, so you can use your food stamps in this country for soda, for diabetes water.
That's
you
crazy.
can use your food stamps. Not in Europe. This is what you can use your food stamps for. They said this is not, a lot of politicians were like, you're fucking paying people, you're subsidizing soda companies to get people fat. Don't
Yep.
worry, we got the medicine for it. If now the NAACP, with the help of Ozempic, saying if you lobby against Ozempic, which is if you
You're
say
racist.
you're racist. It's racist. Change your diet
Oh
Don't
my
change your
God.
diet. Don't eat simple foods. Keep eating the shit that we're feeding you.
Just eat less of it.
And we'll keep you on this drug for life. And what they're finding with Ozempic is it causes stomach paralysis. Here's the other fucked up thing about Ozempic. 95% of the serotonin that you make for your head is made in the gut. And because it fucks with your gut and causes different kinds of issues in your gut, because it has to
Making
to
people
stop you
fucking
from eating,
depressed.
it's causing major
skinny.
suicidal ideation.
But they're skinny.
Yeah. And
Oh, I did not even know about that part of it. That sounds awful, folks. Does anyone ever just feel like this is some sort of plan? Like, I know they were just talking about conspiracy theories, but guys, they literally create diabetes water with corn syrup. They then create medication that make it so you're not fat, but it makes you not want to keep living. That's leave me a comment. Do you think it's a conspiracy?
as these drugs go up, right? Yeah.
But you're skinny.
But you're skinny.
So it works.
Better to leave
Sad and skinny. I'd rather be sad and skinny than sad and
dead
fat.
Skinny than dead and fat.
Yes.
Yeah. That's what's
Take your
going on.
poison.
So that to me, as far as like a conspiracy, just follow the money. This is madness.
Yeah, like that.
Keep that
as
same
the
energy
first-
with COVID.
Yo, facts.
I mean,
Facts.
That's
So,
hey, booster boy over here.
I didn't get a booster. Fuck
Booster
off.
boy.
well, you got the first one?
No.
Yeah, he did.
Okay.
No.
No, I did not.
What is this like a point of contention?
No, we did not, but
No.
Smart.
we did. In other words,
Okay,
I had to
gotcha.
go somewhere. And no, I never got vaccinated.
Cool, good. Yeah, well, you're
Sick.
still
That's
here.
the first time I said that. Are we allowed to say that?
I don't think you are.
Why can't he say it?
Because I said I
Say
did
it, but
get
I mean,
vaccinated.
Who's going to get him in trouble? Showtime?
I don't know, dude. No, airport.
Oh, no, you're looking at HR.
I don't
You're
think
good.
the airports aren't doing that anymore.
I'm
are they?
HR. No, airport's not doing it.
If
and-
you go to a different country, don't they still check sometimes?
no,
You
no,
have to have a card.
No, you don't. Canada doesn't check. They all stop
During the
checking.
COVID epidemic, you did have to have.
Yeah, but those days are over. But even
If you
the
wanted to get
medical
into a
centers in
hospital, you had to
LA
have a
dropped the
card.
mask
There's a lot of
mandate.
This is crazy. It's hilarious, them going back and forth about this. But how psychotic is it that just a few years ago, we had to have papers to travel? They made you get an injection to live life. That's psycho. I don't like it. Never got vaccinated. I was willing to walk away from my career to not do that. I wasn't going to put my family at risk or me at risk. Because what happens if I get it and something had happened to me? Who's going to take care of my family? So it's hilarious watching this back and forth as they debate whether or not they're allowed to say that they didn't get vaccinated.
things that you had to have.
But in like retro, when they like
Do
find you got
what?
something. Okay,
Take
leave
it,
in.
take it,
I just marked it. I marked it in the
I'm
podcast.
sure- I'm
but
sure-
leave, leave it in.
You see that he's compromised.
No, it's not that. Listen.
I care about you guys, so I don't get in trouble.
No, listen.
That's it.
I have. Look,
He's
I got
fucking
vaccinated.
part of the
I got
Illuminati.
vaccinated.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah,
This
yeah.
episode is brought to you by Big Pharma.
I
You
have,
fuck.
I have my official vaccination.
I'm telling you,
card.
dude. He drives a Tesla too.
Yeah.
Oh, that was you out in the lot. I
I wish
saw?
you hadn't
Tom.
brought up that. So
I
I
knew
didn't have
it.
to go on that rant about my.
I don't know what you're worried about. They still got you shook.
Well, no, it's just that I
You won.
fair.
places you're not
You
allowed in
survived?
that I went through. Yeah.
Or you get it and then you're compromised. You got heart issues.
No, I didn't get it.
I know, that's what I'm saying. Like, what are they gonna do? This is wild.
But I
bro.
wasn't. The reason I didn't get the COVID vaccine is I was going to Europe and I didn't have time because you have to space it out. So you have to get the first one, then the second one, right? And but I was going to Europe, and of course I procrastinate. So I was going. I get if I got the
Here's a good message, folks. If you can do something today, do it today. Don't do it tomorrow. Procrastination just sets you up for future failure. Don't do it.
first one, I would have to wait like 3 weeks to get the second one, but I was already going to be in Europe. So I was like, I can't do that. I got to figure something else out.
Well, timing's everything.
Yeah.
Now
Did you get vaccinated?
Fuck no.
Yeah.
What? No, fuck no.
Fuck no.
I love it. Yeah.
I'd rather fucking go lay in the street, which is probably safer.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Well, now
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
now kids get, I think, 70 vaccines when they used to get.
Yeah,
when I was
70.
growing up, I got 6.
Yeah.
So it's all fucking unbelievable.
It's all dicey.
So yeah, I don't even, it's not even conspiracy theories at this point. It's just fucking, a lot of the conspiracy theory shit that they're labeling now is like, oh, that's a conspiracy theory. Just like to me and to a lot of other people, this seems
Common
like common
sense.
sense shit.
Oh.
And then
But they throw the word conspiracy on any, like if you bring up anything,
Yeah,
if
just a
you
way of
go against the
discrediting shit,
agenda,
right?
oh, he's a conspiracy theory. So
They literally created the term conspiracy theory to discredit people. Like it was a creation in order to pin people with a comment that they could make a negative. Just wear that shit like a badge of honor. Don't let people talk down to you like that.
So conspiracy theorist now is like a negative term.
Yeah,
When the
it's-
government started with JFK.
Right.
Like
Yep.
It's just
you
like
look
any-
how much they use the word conspiracy theorist.
Yep.
When it started with JFK, at first it was like 1 or 2 times. Then the JFK stuff hit, and then the newspapers ran with it.
Yeah,
It
it's
used
a-
like 10,000 times.
Conspiracies
after
have always been a
After
thing,
that.
but like, you can't say that whatever happened to you with this Megan the Stallion thing and you that you were talking about on your on Instagram.
Yeah.
Wait,
You
what?
cannot tell me that that's not in some ways that sounds conspiratorial. It sounds like certain people
What?
in power
what is
in the
happening?
music business were like, we can't have this independent artist with his conservative quote unquote message beating out
What?
Megan the Stallion.
But you know why, right? Because they're not part of it, so they don't get a chunk
Yeah,
out. So
fact.
what they want to do is,
Yeah, they want to control it because they don't get the cut. So they want to bring him down, maybe make him go to a label. Nah. Fuck all that.
no, suppress that because
Yeah.
they don't want more of Tom's. They want less
They're on the
Tom's
losing side of
because they
history.
can't control
Yeah.
Tom.
They're on the losing side of
Exactly.
history.
Yeah, 100%.
100%.
And it's just like, fuck, man. It's not even. If I was coming straight out the blue and saying like, hey, this and this and this is happening with the Billboard charts in regards to this song with Ben, and that was the first time anything that had happened, like, I could understand people being like, oh, that's just a conspiracy, or at least being skeptical of it. But this is like not the first time we've been fucked with. Like in 2021, I released an album that it did fucking 60,000 digital sales, the album, and I sold 50,000 physical copies. Damn. Which would have made it the #1 album on Billboard, period, by a fucking long shot. Would have smoked everyone. And Billboard said, at
Damn.
Billboard's request, I put fucking barcodes and shit on my albums, which is something I've never fucking done before.
Because Billboard wanted they
wanted the codes.
barcodes be. So they're like, make sure you put barcodes so we can track it.
I don't
so
understand what the-
he
I
does that.
understand.
So they can track the sales.
So they can actually track the sales.
Physical
So
sales.
Yeah, so I was like, okay, fine, we'll put barcodes on the album, like no fucking problem. So we pressed the 50,000 copies or whatever, put barcodes on the fucking things, supplied them with the information from the barcodes, and they're saying, we need more than that. And I'm like, okay, well, what do you need? And they're like, we need to see sales reports. So I'm like, okay. So we've screenshot all the sales reports from the back end of my store, like my e-commerce shit. Give them all the screenshots from the sales reports. They're like, it's not enough. And I was like, okay, well, check it out.
We don't
I'll
like it.
create you a fucking profile on my website right now.
Yeah, go on yourself.
I'll give you a password. You can sign into my e-commerce store, and which is fucking dangerous for me.
Wild.
Dangerous.
I can't believe. Yeah, wild.
Like,
But you're trying to make a point.
Yeah, I'm trying to show, like, not just for my personal, like, rah, we beat the fucking music industry, but I have a lot of friends that are independent musicians, and I want them to know, like, hey, you can be fucking successful outside of the music industry.
go.
You can create your own ecosystem outside of this machine, and you can beat them at their own
Thank
fucking
God.
game.
Thank God.
Right? It's fucking possible. So I'm doing it.
Is it?
It's a personal thing, but it's more than that. It's for everybody else. So I say, okay, here, I've made you a login. I've given you a password, and they refused. And this is like no fucking bullshit. This is 3.5 weeks on the phone with these people, communicating via email every single fucking day for hours. I'm talking to people at Billboard. I'm talking to people at MRC Data, who collects the sales numbers for Billboard. And MRC saying, no, this is a Billboard issue. And Billboard saying, no, it's an MRC issue. There's no fucking accountability. And it ended up happening. Like, if we don't get these guys the access or the proof
So basically, it turned into the Spider-Man Mexican standoff thing. That's wild. Absolutely wild.
that they require within X amount of time, then we're fucked. When we're just going with whatever our digital numbers are, and like, that's unprecedented access. Here's a fucking username and a password. You can sign in. You can verify the sales in real time on your own with no oversight from anybody. You're free to do what you want. They just fucking said no, pretty much told us to go fuck ourselves.
Yeah, I'm curious if there's another,
Wow.
like a kid who wants to aspire to be, who's listening. It's like, God, it sounds like a nightmare. Like, you can see why they sign with big corporations.
But that's why they do it. They create that point of friction, and then they give you the easy way out. The easy way out is signing with a label, because the label has that relationship with Billboard. So it's like, oh, you want to get credit for all of your hard work? Well, you can't do it independently. You need to be with a label. And screw all that.
You know what? I think you're on the winning side of history. I think
Yeah.
that independent artists are. I mean, you're doing it. You're actually doing it. Aren't you getting a lot of people that reach out to you, say like with support?
Oh fuck yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why like I just look at it. This is just revenge of the independent artist at this point.
Yeah.
They don't have anything that I need. I bought $500,000 worth of cameras. I bought $500,000 worth of lenses. I have $500,000 worth of lights. I have fucking YouTube and Facebook and Instagram and Rumble and all the other Twitter.
Yeah,
all the
I
other
don't know what
bullshit.
they could offer you.
I love it.
Yeah.
man.
Yeah, I don't know what else they
How
could
is that
offer you.
video doing on Rumble?
I have no idea.
Yeah.
I have no idea. But I had 5 million views on Twitter. It's got fucking 14 million views on YouTube. Yeah, 90,000 single sales on iTunes alone. Like it's fucking crushing. So there's just like there's
Love
no
it.
resources that they can offer us. The only thing that they have that we don't have is relationships.
Billboard.
And they use those relationships to fucking cock block us
Yep.
and put up barriers in places and prevent us from getting into rooms.
Yep.
That's why it's so fucking awesome to have guys like here
Always here for you.
that
Yep.
will give people a platform, because there's a lot of other big platforms out there that, whether people want to believe it or not, are controlled, and there's gatekeepers, and they're and
100%.
the whole thing is
Which is such a
incest.
bummer because podcasts were the answer. Were sort of that was the whole point of podcasts.
Yeah.
Have you done Rogan?
No,
Yeah, I mean, yeah, we've always been this way. I mean, we got
Do
fired
it.
from Fox because they were trying.
Dude, if these guys could lever relationships to get him on Rogan, I would watch that and I would react to that immediately.
To control stuff, and he's like, "Don't talk about this on the podcast." I'm like, "Can't do that."
Yeah.
No,
He's like, "Dude, I'm
no
telling you,
rules.
talk about it. You're gonna get fired." I'm like, "All right, dude. Well, it's what we do."
Yep.
I went, and the next day we talked about it, and came back the following day, and they had security.
Oh,
Wouldn't
well, yeah.
let me in
No
the building.
shit.
He went bad on Fox when we were in the Fox room.
Yeah, they want 50% of our shit. I'm like, it's
And
not
there was
happening.
some giant football player that I guess, I don't know. You were like, I mean, if the guy wants to, if they want to, if he's a giant guy, I mean, if he wants to, I mean, it's cause a problem. I'm here.
They wouldn't let us get back in the studio and get our stuff.
wild.
Yeah, wild. Wow.
Yeah, that was actually, that's right. We
Yeah.
had to just, I was like, what do you mean we can't get back in there?
I was like, if I could just get the sign, like, no,
Nah,
absolutely
see you
not.
later.
Yeah, but I think it works out. I think it works out.
I don't,
In time,
sometimes I don't think you do things because they work out. I think you do things because
the right
principle
thing
of
to
it.
do.
Yeah.
Right
Yes.
thing to do.
Yeah.
I think that if you don't,
And guys, that is how the enemy wins. The enemy wins by convincing you that you can't do it without him. Satan or the enemy or whoever you believe in, the enemy only has the power that you give them. So props to these guys for standing up for what is right and saying, no, that's fine. We'll find a job somewhere else. We'll do it on our own. No, we're not going to live by those rules. We're not going to let you control what I say and what I do. Yeah, mad respect. I wouldn't change the things that I say here for anybody. It's part of why I enjoy this platform. I might temper some of the things that I say so that I don't get immediately kicked off of YouTube or on X or anywhere else. I still voice my own opinion. And I think that genuineness is what people are attracted to. I think that's what makes a lot of these podcasts so successful. Instead of these 3 to 5 minute clips on mainstream media news shows where they just say the same shit, whether it's race baiting or whatever. They just have talking points. They all say the same thing. It's not genuine. It's not real.
if you don't stand for something, you stand for fucking nothing.
Yes,
And if you're not willing to
exactly.
fight for something that you can define, then you're not a fully formed human being.
Yes.
That's what
100%.
I respect so much about you, is because you're criticizing by creating, and you're putting your money where your mouth is, and it's working out. I mean,
Yes.
the plus also is that you're super talented. I mean, I'm not a rap aficionado.
That does help.
That you have
You're
to.
talented.
You're not sitting on this couch, but you're not selling. If you're not talented, there's no argument. Because then the corporates just
Yeah.
like, look at him, he sucks.
Yeah.
But they can't use that, So
I think that's kind
talent's
of
number one. Otherwise, there's no fight.
yeah. I think that's kind of what they tried to do with like the Ben record, right? Is like, because they're like, I'm not daft to the fact that there's like the novelty is fucking thick with the Ben thing.
Yeah.
And it is like a big fucking troll. Like it's
And it's
fucking Ben
hilarious.
Shapiro. Like does
It's
he
hilarious.
have any business being on a fucking rap song? Fuck
Nope.
no.
That's what's great.
That's why
you're
everyone
using
tunes in.
humor.
Yeah, but the press, they're like, oh, this talentless hack Tom MacDonald
Yes.
has put this other fucking idiot Ben
Who's doing
Shapiro
that
on
to
a
you?
song.
I love this.
Dude, it's
Oh, they-
every,
I love it.
Yeah, that's the
Dude,
narrative. And they're like,
TM
look, he has to use Ben Shapiro to get views. It's like, oh, you guys have no clue what you're talking about.
Yeah.
He's had
like-
videos way bigger than this.
Yeah, TMZ
Yeah,
bodied
his videos
us.
are bigger than
fucking-
you.
Yep.
Yeah. And so like TMZ dragged us, fucking Forbes, like low-key kind of dragged us, like pretty much 90% of the press coverage.
But think about what the press is, Bubba. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah, of
they're all
course.
over here.
Activists.
They're
Of course,
all
yeah.
over here.
Activists.
Of course.
Not even
So
fucking
they all fucking dragged us and made it seem like I'm some talentless clickbait gimmicky guy and this is my big moment in the sun with Ben. And it's like, yo, like I've sold fucking probably 1 million hard copies of my CDs over the last 6 years.
But those people that
Yeah.
read that and go, "Oh yeah, it's a gimmick." You don't want them as
Yeah,
fans.
fuck
The
that.
sheep
They're
that
not
read that,
buying
you
it.
don't
Yeah.
want that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you see LA Times? How many people they had to lay off? How many journalists? Nobody's reading the LA Times.
Yeah.
Nobody's reading these fucking.
Right.
Because they don't trust them. Because
They're not serious people. And they definitely broke the trust with the public, guys. It's been happening for decades with a lot of these progressive news organizations. But man, 2020, COVID, this whole thing, the government, the media, like so many people broke trust with the public to such a degree that there is probably no coming back from it for a lot of these organizations. No.
Like LA Times, New York Post, Rolling Stone, ESPN, like everything's headed down. Nothing's on a positive
Nope.
scale. So you think they go, okay, what we're doing's not working.
Joe Rogan just himself has had a huge effect on boys from the age of 12 to like 22. My son, who's 12, is basically a conservative because he's listening. He and his friends are all listening to Rogan, listening to guys like you. It just because they've been kind of demonized. They've been told that
Yeah.
they are the
Yeah.
problem, and
Yep.
so kids are like. But then they get a guy like you, and they're listening like, but that's how I feel. I'm not a
Yep.
bad person. I'm competitive. I want to do sports. I want to fuck around and be funny.
I'm white. Believe it or not, guys, it's okay to be white. Hot take.
I don't want to feel like a librarian's always watching me. I don't want to feel like there's a chaperone in the corner. Hey, stop dancing or roughhousing, boys. Don't roughhouse. That's what they're telling.
Yeah, boys need to be boys. You know who learned that real quick? You can check out our video that I did where we discussed it with Dr. Yuval Bibi, the rogue dermatologist. Gillette learned this lesson real hard with their toxic masculinity promotion campaign nonsense.
On boys, roughhouse. It's all we fucking do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, all we do is tease each other. All we do is say shit
Yep.
we're not supposed to say.
Yeah. Ask my work's HR department.
That's the whole point.
That is the point.
That's the whole point.
Yes. Like-
If you tell me I can't say it, he and I, before the cameras are on, the shit that he can't help himself. We were going live.
I say every word possible.
We were going live, and I was like, hey, even me, I was like, hey, you got to calm down.
Yeah, I love
Hey, too close. We're about to go live. Don't say that. You'll get us deplatformed immediately, which is dumb. The fact that there are things that we can't say to each other because we are going to get deplatformed for saying them sucks. Guys, yes, these are private companies. Yes, they're providing us a valuable service by hosting our content. Yes, they have terms of service that we technically agree to, but nobody reads when they sign up for accounts for places like this. But guys are going to be guys. That's just the way it is. Stop trying to keep men from being men.
I was already getting texts on the
I'll
way.
say
Just
every word that would get us
off-color shit.
canceled.
I
Every
mean, we would have gotten canceled. My children would have been canceled just for knowing him. And it
Generations would
He's
get-
like, I got to get it out of my, you know.
Yeah.
Don't tell me not to do something. It's going to fucking cause a problem. So
But for you, like as far as moving forward, like after you're doing the good fight, what's the like? How do you win in the end?
I apologize. I'm having a little bit of a debate back and forth with my 4-year-old son. Hold on. You remember? Do you remember now? Yes. Okay, buddy. Go do that, please. Thank you. I love you. I love my kids.
I guess just keep doing what you're doing.
I mean, I think at the end of the day, like when my career's come to a close and I decide to walk away from it all, I think I get to pack up with my integrity still intact and
Yes.
like at the end of the
Guys,
day, like,
as a man, that is so important. If you can't hold integrity with yourself, if you can't hold integrity with others, guys, your name is it. That's all you've got. Don't ruin it. Don't break your word. So like he said, it's so important that he is going to be able to retire and still have his integrity intact. Amazing.
like shit like the Billboard charts and shit like that, like
No one cares.
I look at it as it's like a form of like revenge for me. It's like I've entered an arena where I'm not supposed to be.
Yep.
And I'm winning, and I have like 35 or 36 or 40, some fucking obscene number of number ones on Billboard. So
So when it comes to Billboard and that stuff, like once you see how the sausage is made, aren't you like, I'm good. I don't need it, man.
yeah, but it's still fun.
Yeah.
It's still fun, and like
It's fun to stick it to people. It's like,
yeah, like I feel like the music industry has treated artists like shit for so long, and like exploited dreamers and taken advantage of people who have a passion for this shit and robbed them and just.
God, I wish you were a UFC fighter. We could use the same energy.
Yeah, right.
There's so much overlap in business and in UFC and all of these other areas. Top performing people tend to have the same perspective in life. And what Tom's talking about here is the industry. Those are the labels. They have stolen things from people because the people coming up that wanted to be big, they had their sights on, I want to be number one on Billboard. Not, I just want to be successful and be happy with myself. So they just wanted to be number one on Billboard. So they sold out and signed up with a label. So the label gets them on Billboard, just like with the New York Times bestseller list for authors, just like all of these ranking systems that they've built. The only way you get into them and get on top of them is by signing up with them. Don't do it, guys. Be successful on your own. Build it on your own. Even if it's harder, even if it takes longer, just like with Tom here, you will be more happy with your success if you just do it yourself on your own merit.
Right.
Yeah.
So I feel like they've just fucked with artists for so long that like as long as I'm capable of it, I'm just gonna fuck with them right back. And I get to walk away at the end of the day and be like, well, I did it. And like whether they want to give me a Grammy one day or not, like I still made fucking $50 million and had a blast and spoke for a bunch of people who felt like they didn't have a fucking voice. I got to speak up for people and be that guy on the front line and that shit helps me sleep at night. So that like that.
I think that, you know, you're so needed. I think I said this to you on the phone, like people, I don't like saying the right because, you know, everybody gets branded far right. Or how about just people who are about traditional, partially traditional values? People say,
Oh, you mean you want to conserve values? Yeah, I'm with him, man. The labeling is stupid, but humans do it. It's just our nature.
you right wing? I'm like, I don't know, what's the subject?
Yeah,
I change all the time. I don't know.
Yeah,
but I'm not, you know, don't try to label me.
No, I mean,
Oh, wait, you're thinking for yourself? That's far right.
I'll
I'm not
storm the
crazy.
Capitol. Whatever.
I'm not right. I'm not gonna right.
Well,
that's
I have
different.
to.
That's different.
No, it's vibing.
Right. But you know what I'm saying? Like what you're preaching to me, common sense and kind of the values that kind of built a lot of the stuff that we enjoy all the time.
Yep.
And that's what it is, dude, is like, but it's like we talked about the conspiracy theory label, and that gets tossed on anybody that's interested in a narrative that's contrary or running not parallel with what the mainstream narrative is. To doing the same shit with the far right wing thing. Like I've never labeled myself as a conservative rapper. I've never labeled myself as a right wing rapper.
No, but they will because you think independently. You are independent. And the things you speak on are against the mainstream narrative. So you are, by their definition, far right. Sorry, man, you're a conservative rapper.
I just like the woke shit that's going on the left.
It's a lot.
Like the further you lean away from that, you can lean away from the woke shit
And not play for the other team.
not be leaning
Yeah,
into
that's how I am.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's what I do.
like so that's kind of
They
like,
all suck. Like
Yeah.
left and right suck.
oh dude the whole
But
thing
I'm
is
sure
a
it's fucking not left. I know that.
Yeah,
But I'm
yeah.
not all the way on the right.
I don't know
Yeah.
how to be left when I can't follow any of their rules because they're always changing.
Ooh, that is a very good point, guys. You might be following the rules of the left 1 minute, and then 2 weeks later, you're far right.
It's also crazy.
Well, it's also crazy.
like my sister made a t-shirt for us the other day that said I'm not always right but I'm never left.
Yeah.
And like that's kind of like how I feel about
Yeah, me
the whole
too.
shit. But like
Yes.
you know in general like the whole
Don't you
thing
think most of us are that way though? And isn't the conspiracy that the people who might not even exist are being amplified? Like
Yes, guys. That is almost every movement recently that they've brought about. It is a small, tiny minority fraction of the population, and they amplify it to make it seem like they are in the majority. And that if you don't believe what they say, that you are a bigot, you're a racist, you're a sexist, you're a something. They brand you to try and shut you up. But what most people don't realize, folks, is that people that have common sense, the normies, the conservatives, people that don't believe some of this extreme progressive nonsense, we are in the significant majority. We just tend to be quiet. So just like with the not alone spoken word that we did the other day from Tom, we need to be more vocal about the things that we support and why we support them. And then I think we're going to look around and we're going to realize that we are not alone, that we are in fact the majority, and that these extreme progressive ideologies and views need to just go away because they are in the significant minority and most of them are crazy.
Sometimes I think there's an argument being fostered by other agents.
But I think that's why Trump's getting so big, because people are like, all right, I'm not pro-Trump, but I'm sure as fuck not this.
Yeah.
And if the option's this or this, I'm going over here.
Did you see this?
See, and that's the fucking problem.
That's our option.
Is there like, you know, no matter who you vote for, or what team you decide to like endorse, it's going to go to shit anyway.
Correct.
And then they're going to be like, well, you chose this person and it's going to shit. And it's like, okay, well, is it?
Well, that's how they also get you. You go, oh, it's going to shit anyway. Let's pick the other guy. And then it goes to shit again. And then you go, oh, it's not working with this guy. Let's pick the other guy. And then it still goes to shit, guys. That's been the uniparty. It's been that way for decades. And it was even that way during Trump's first term. He surrounded himself with awful, awful people and advisors. But in the first 2 weeks of Trump's second administration, things are very different. I love all the winning, the fulfilling campaign promises just daily. I did not think that we were going to be keeping track of progress day by day and week by week. I thought it was going to be month by month and year by year, like every other campaign promise politician, where they might accomplish 2 things they promised. Guys, the list of winning is just growing so long already, and we're going into week 3.
Is it a democracy or is it a fucking trick? Because if you give me 3 sandwiches and it's fucking dog shit, cat shit, and bird shit, and I choose one of them and start eating it and go, wow, this tastes like shit, and you say, well, you chose to eat that one, and I'm like, the 3 fucking choices you gave me were all shit.
Yeah, exactly.
Like that's just, you know, from
Guys, that's modern politics in a nutshell.
a million feet. That's what this whole thing seems like to me.
Agreed.
It's like, it's not even about like people say like, oh, it's divide and conquer and shit. It's beyond that at this point. They amplify the voices that you're talking about, so we divide ourselves.
Yep.
Like they don't even have to step in and be like, okay, whites over here and blacks over here.
And the crazy thing is, guys, the right and the left is dividing itself. So Israel is really the dividing point between the right and the left and the left. We really need to do some introspection here, guys, as a country. We need to reevaluate who we have as allies, and we really need to reevaluate some of the agreements and the treaties that we have that have been longstanding. Because if they're not really still our friend, should they be allies? I don't know, guys. I don't think so. Because if they're causing us to be involved overseas in conflicts that we really have no business being in, that don't really have a benefit for us here back home, I think we should probably get out of those agreements. I think we should treat them like a relationship that is just ending. Go, you know what? The years we had together, they were great. Things just aren't so great anymore. And I don't think there's a real future value in us maintaining our relationship. So we should just amicably shake hands and go, you know what? I hope you have the best. Live your best life somewhere else with somebody else. And that's fine. I'm going to go over here and I'm going to do something better. I think that's how we really need to approach a lot of these things, and we're not doing it. Let's make America great again.
Gays over here and straights over here, they just amplify these super fucking extreme voices.
Because they want conflict.
Exactly.
They want conflict, so we're not focused on the real issue.
Right.
Exactly.
That's how I
It's
feel.
because that nothing gets done.
It's a fucking smoke
They're
screen.
like, dude,
Yes.
they're busy fighting over here about trans rights.
Yes.
And when most are like, we don't care, whatever they want to do. Like, no, but you hate them. And
No.
it's like, no, but we want to
don't.
get this done.
Yeah,
Yeah.
my thing is, how do we deal? I think you're exactly right. I think we're being told to look over here, and there's a whole bunch of like emotional issues, kids and trans, and all. We
Yep.
just go over here, and you got to wear masks, and we're looking over there. But I think the larger threat is as technology becomes what it is, and as we are able to be more and more independent, you can see that you don't really need a record label.
Yep.
You could make the argument that the political system as it is, the president as a figurehead, is no longer as relevant. You need laws and you need things like that, but you could make the argument that what you worry about is technology is making it very easy to control people on a massive level. So just take.
But that's not always
digital
good,
currency.
'cause
No,
AI
it's not.
it's not good.
AI is the real danger.
And dude, even shit as stupid as like the self-driving cars. It's like people are like, oh, it's so convenient. And it's like, yeah, well, wait till you get in that motherfucker one day and it takes you to the courthouse for something you didn't even know you did.
Correct.
Oh, that is That is a darker thing than I even was thinking of right now. I was going to say it's just going to be bad when your car doesn't let you go anywhere because you said the wrong thing on the internet. But think about the UK right now with the people being in prison for very lengthy prison terms for saying the wrong thing as they free migrants who are committing serious violent offenses. Can you imagine being in the UK and exactly what he just said happens? You're like, I'm going to get in my Tesla and I'm going to work. And you say self-drive, engage, make it so, number one. And then you take your nap as you do. Don't do this, guys. And then you wake up and boom, you're in front of the police station and they're arresting you. Oh, God. Dark future. Dark. But yeah, just CBDCs. Thankfully, Trump's administration, through executive orders, said those aren't allowed. Now we need the legislature to make that happen. But CBDCs are another way that they do this, guys. Central bank digital currencies. If you piss off the wrong people in government or you commit wrong speak, they can just go, oh, you don't get to spend money anymore. Debanking you becomes extremely easy. Or, hey, look, you can't buy healthy food anymore. You can only buy shitty food. Oh, look, you can't buy off-brand things. You can only buy name brand things. Like they could very just to the microscopic level control your life. We really need to be careful with this technology stuff, guys. We really need to be careful with our reliance on AI. Most of the LLMs or large language models, for those of you that don't know what that is, most of those things when you go on like Copilot, ChatGPT, or any of these other AI platforms, Grok on X or DeepSpeak. Oh, China, don't do it. But any of these AI LLMs, you go on there and you ask it a question and you just believe the answer. Don't, guys. We need to validate it. I've asked it to do very basic arithmetic and I get the completely wrong answer. Maybe I didn't check, but maybe it was doing Common Core math. I don't know, but it couldn't even give me the formulas it was using. Guys, we need to be very, very careful just trusting technology. Always verify. And if you don't know enough to verify, go educate yourself so that you can.
Or they decide you didn't pay a parking ticket and you can't drive to get to the hospital.
Exactly. Or can't take your fucking money out of your account with the
or
digitized
your money expires, or they have an expiration.
But it's also another way.
Guys, expiring currency would be awful. That's some Zimbabwe shit right there.
Way to control you. Like electric cars is not the vibe for a million fucking reasons. And it's another way you don't want to drive anymore. You don't have any control. They want to set the speed limit. You just want to get in and not drive.
Yeah, you see
Could you be a bigger bitch? You can't drive to work.
That's like some iRobot shit, right? Oh, how'd that turn out for Will?
Tesla, and he
drives me nuts.
Call me a harder cuck. He's like, he goes, you're not allowed in my truck though because you're a cuck, and my truck won't start. My truck won't start because you're a cuck. And you're probably vaxxed to the max.
Because it's that culture that subscribes to electrics, whatever. But the culture surrounding it, it's the same culture that wants to get vaxxed.
It's the same fart huffers that were all about virtue signaling in their Prii. They're like, I have a Toyota Prius. I'm better than you.
The alpha males are the enemy.
Let's not get carried away.
It is.
Electric cars are pretty awesome.
They're not though in any facet.
What do you mean?
How are they awesome?
They're fast as shit.
That's it. They're fast. That's it. Stop there.
Your car's not fast.
My car's not fast.
Your car's not fast.
Sir.
By all measurements, your car's not fast.
My car jumps off the line.
No, it doesn't. They don't though. There's gas powered cars that do.
No.
If your argument's that it's fast, then you would drive a fast car before this.
I mean, I don't care.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You don't
really
care. You're doing it because it's easy.
Yeah.
But people don't realize, like, we're on our cell phone, so we're living in a simulation. So you're always on your cell phone. Yeah. So you're living in that world. You get in your car. You plug in the address. It drives you there. It's just making Americans softer and softer.
Or just it's convenient, but you pay a price for it. Like there is something like
free will.
Convenient. Yeah.
Like,
well, no.
Yeah, the price you pay is for, and it's like everything. They look exactly the same. It's white or black. The interior's basic as fuck. Yep. There's a screen on there. Yeah. I charge it.
I let a bunch of guys have sex with my wife. I'm a cock.
It's cuck life.
Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Is that cuck life?
And then who owns all the? Don't get me started. Then who owns all the charging stations? China. So we're more reliant on China.
Here's what
fucking idiots.
Oh, this discussion is hilarious, guys.
Figure it out.
Here's what I worry about. Take it easy, bro.
Figure it out.
Put your hand down, dude.
I love when people are like, they're fast. I'm like, bro, you drove a fucking Prius before this.
I did.
When have you ever cared about speed?
What did we just say?
It's on purpose. He and Rogan will be like, just buy a better car, dude. I was like,
well,
nope.
it's LA. It's parking though, right? Was that the excuse?
I'm just not.
It's always something.
I don't care. I'm not a car.
California HOV lane access, right?
Guy. But what I think is interesting is that there's a social credit score already happening. So I travel a lot.
Yeah.
I go Airbnb. I use Uber. I use Turo, which is like the Airbnb for cars, right? It's all awesome. It's so convenient. It makes everything perfect. But you get reviewed every time you use it, and and then you review them. So now pretty soon I'm attached to do I have 5 stars?
What's your score?
4.5, probably 5.
Yeah.
But I'm
killing
I'm
it.
aware of it.
But you
I'm
can't
aware
leave
of
a bad review.
No.
Like, we've had horrible Airbnbs. I tell my brother, I'm like, dude, we rent this expensive Airbnb in Kentucky.
You gotta leave a review.
Dude, my fucking room was behind a train station.
I remember I stayed there.
And I'm like, I tell my brother, I'm like, dude, you gotta leave a bad review. He's like, we can't. So we leave a bad review, then they give us a bad review. Then we can't rent the next
you
place. I'm
go.
like, so we can't say anything? He's like, absolutely.
Okay, I've never Airbnb'd anything, but that sounds crazy. Is that true, folks? Like, leave me a comment. Tell me how Airbnb works, because like I said, I've never done it. Don't really plan on doing it. I have done Vrbo. I had I've done it once, had a great experience at the Lake of the Ozarks, but that's crazy. I don't like this whole profile on each other thing. I'm actually curious now, what is my Uber rating? Is there a way to find your ranking in Uber? Like, I'm so bad at this, guys. I'm so bad at this. Oh, apparently I have a 5-star rating on Uber. I don't know if that's a good thing or not. What do you guys think?
No,
There you go.
You tell them it's the best thing of all time. Like, this is insane.
Although, from what I understand, they can't see your review. You can't see
Oh,
theirs.
they see it.
Yeah. Isn't that crazy, though? So now we already have a social credit score in a sense. We're falling into this trap of convenience and abundance, and it's awesome, but we're paying a price. Well, I always say, it's like we used to have privacy. You're too young to remember. You might be almost. I grew up with privacy. And then when the planes hit the buildings, we said to the government, you give us our safety, we'll give you our privacy.
And the way that ends up, guys, is that we get neither.
And they said, we'll do that. We'll give you cameras and a mic that we can turn on, and you're going to carry it around in your hand.
Yeah.
That's what the fuck is really going on.
And then the safety's gone now. So you lost your privacy. The safety's gone because the border's open.
But they
So
can
the
turn
terror
your mic
level
on,
has never been higher.
Do you know that?
Yeah.
They can. I was talking to a bunch of NSA.
If your phone's
CIA
off,
guys.
they can fucking turn your mic on.
I was talking to a bunch of NSA CIA guys. They were like, get on. Then they're like Signal and those apps, but which I think are probably made by CIA.
Probably.
I mean, I don't. But it's really interesting.
They're
'cause
only
like-
private for now too.
Yeah.
Like,
It's just
I feel like the place that we're at now with the self-driving cars and all this shit, like on the surface level, the convenience and stuff is like super cool. But I feel like this is just like the beginning. Like the other day, like the first person got the Neuralink or whatever from Elon Musk, the brain chip shit. And like I've fucks with Elon Musk. I think he's cool. I think he's a very forward thinking. He has interesting perspectives on shit. I dig it. Just because it's intriguing to me. But like I've been critical of the Neuralink shit from the jump, and people are saying like, yo, it's gonna cure MS and it's gonna cure cerebral palsy and it's gonna cure all this shit.
Is
and
it?
it's just like, yo, like that's where it starts, bro.
Yes.
That's the selling point
Correct.
for it now. But like, where are you gonna be 10 years from now when like you have a thought and then you go to say it and you can't get it out your mouth? Like, because it's fucking governing
Correct.
your freedom of speech. Like that's where this shit goes.
Or they can read your.
Oh God, that's like some Minority Report kind of shit. When your brain chip reports to pre-crime that you were thinking a violent thought, and then they just kick in your front door. Oh, or your Tesla drives you to the, jail.
Like, yeah, exactly. That's where this shit is going to go down the line. And
Everybody
they're not going to
get
come out the box and be like, hey, this is capable of fucking controlling you from within. They're going to be like, hey, this could save your mom's life. Or
They did also say that it was all about reading and writing to your brain. So you could get rid of bad memories, or you could basically punish somebody by putting them in jail for an extended period of time, and they would feel like they were in jail for that long. Like there's just so many dark, dystopian, like think about this. If you can write to your brain, you could write decades, centuries of prison time. Be like, look, you were in prison. This is your experience. This is what happened every day. Give you a little variety. Maybe you got beat up a couple of times. You ate some pretty crappy food, but like you could just get sentenced to centuries in jail. And then you're back to reality. You wake up, you're the same age as you went in, but you served centuries in prison. Do you think that's going to be good for your brain? I don't think it's going to be good. Now, curing people that are paralyzed or that have MS, that sounds good. But we do have to be real careful with it, like Tom's talking here. It makes a lot of sense. What do you guys think? Do you think it's a conspiracy theory, or do you just think it's going to happen?
it could make your grandfather walk again. Or,
Well,
these
they're
are-
also going to be able to hire digital archivists. So you go to a job, and they're going to hire a digital archivist. He's going to be a forensics. He's going to be a computer hacker who will find everything you've ever written or sent, every text you've sent, everything you've ever done, and they're going to find that, and then they can comb through what they consider objectionable.
But if you
Yeah, guys, look at the internet and the way that kids are growing up now. Like, none of the things that happened when I was growing up were recorded. The amount of digitization of everything that kids are doing nowadays throughout their entire life is exactly what he's talking about right here. They're going to be able to comb through it. And this reminds me of the movie Paycheck, I believe it was, Ben Affleck. The possibilities with that technology are both amazing and terrifying.
look at it, it's just making everyone softer and softer and softer. Like the new generation, like that's why my kids, whenever I'm doing anything in my cars, I take them with me. They need to know how to change tires, change the oil. Because now, like your son, he's coming up now. Dad has an electric car. Okay, tire blows, oil. They have no clue. They have no
somebody
fucking
with
clue.
rough hands.
Of course. It's just making those people softer.
I call
and
my
softer
wife
and
and she
softer.
comes out with her rough hands.
Yeah.
Shut up, Brendan. My car jumps off the line. Admit that the Tesla's fast.
No.
What is it?
still
What is
mad
it?
about
Tesla
I keep
3.
hearing that though. I keep hearing
What's the
these,
Tesla
these
3 go
Teslas
0 to
Something
60?
they ride on.
What's the Tesla? Hold on. That's Tesla 3 0 to 60. You're out of your mind. Watch this
But
shit.
what's fast do you be?
Bubba, that thing, you're going to be like this.
I saw a video of the Tesla truck towing a
3.5
911.
So 4.1 is when they actually tested it. Bring up Dodge Demon 170 0 to 60.
Where do you know?
And my truck's faster than that, babe, by the way. The 7,000 pound truck's faster.
Yeah, but
your
you have
Tesla.
1,200 horsepower. In it.
Doesn't matter. Still faster than your
Well,
car.
but you had to put 1,200
Oh shit!
horsepower in.
Oh, then my car that I got from the factory at Dodge is 1.6 seconds. You cuck.
No, that's not true.
No, that's true.
Hold on.
Faster than your plaid that you guys bow down to.
Oh, that's that Dodge Demon?
Yeah, that green car out there. Starches all your gay electric stuff.
Why is it gay?
Oh, and then you have to charge yours.
Why is that
And then
gay?
you gotta charge
But
it.
no, I feel like
well, I
you're being
keep going. You
super
gotta
homophobic.
charge it.
Oh God, guys, this dynamic between the two of them is hilarious.
Yeah, but I mean, what? Like, I don't know why I'm gay. It doesn't mean I bang guys,
It does, though.
or does it mean guys got bang me?
Either or.
Okay.
Or your spouse.
Wait, you think that's it? What is gayer though? If I bang guys, that's almost straight.
Sure, man.
I don't know. You, Tom, you know the.
I'm not. Yeah, I'm not jumping in on that
He's
one.
like,
Are you a car guy?
I think.
Not
Yeah,
touching
gay
that.
goes either way. Like,
Okay.
Yeah.
Are you a car guy?
It's gay either way. Okay. You're a poet and didn't know it, Tom.
Not really, but
I'll tell you this, not an electric car guy,
I'm definitely not an electric car guy. I can tell you that.
then he's a car guy.
Hey, what the fuck is going on here, man?
You got boosted. You drive the
I
Tesla.
never got boosted.
You
Don't-
voted for
don't
Kamala
say I got
Harris.
Bro,
I just want to get all the facts out, Tom, what you're dealing with here.
Guys, I gotta
He's
explain.
a CIA plant.
Oh no, this isn't even my real hair. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I thought Jelly Roll was going to win last night for Best
Fuck.
New Artist. Then I saw the lineup. I'm like, stiff competition.
and
who
they have
won?
a tough time giving it to the newbies too. Like,
Yeah.
and Jelly Roll's been doing this shit for fucking 30 years or 20 years or something. Like,
Yeah.
he's a vet as far as like the game goes, but in that arena, like,
Tough,
he,
dude.
yeah,
new.
When I
yeah.
saw the lineup, I'm like, that's going to be a tough one for him
Taylor
to win.
Swift won.
She won Album of the Year.
yeah, like 4th year in a row or something.
Jesus.
She's kind of annoying. I don't mind her, but she
CIA.
always acts surprised. She's like, I don't even have a speech ready to go. I can't believe. I'm like, bitch, you've won 3 before this. It's not like this is unheard of. She's the most famous person in the room.
She's the only artist to win that category 4 times. She just broke that record.
Yeah, Nova
Oh.
fucks with Taylor Swift.
Now, I'm a fan. I just feel
Are you a fan?
Oh,
I think she's awesome.
Yeah.
I don't mind her at all. Like
Nope.
the hate she
Nova's
gets, I
gonna
don't
come for you.
understand. It's all good.
Not my favorite music because I'm old though, right?
It's not for you. But I'm cool with her. I like how they show her in the football games. I don't mind that. But it's just
I like-
weird how
oh, she sold more football tickets than anybody.
Yeah,
it's a weird vibe. Like it feels like manufactured. She's like, oh, I can't believe, like it's her first one. She's like, I don't have a speech ready to go. I didn't expect this. I'm like, you're literally the most famous person on the planet. Of course you're
yeah,
gonna win.
yeah. I wasn't into it at all. Like, I was super not into Taylor Swift, and then Nova made me listen to like a whole bunch of her shit and like watch a documentary
She's
on her
talented.
one night, and I was like, fuck, like
Stupid talented.
She's playing instruments, she's writing a lot of her own shit, and aside from the creativity, she's like a fierce businesswoman.
Beast,
Like,
beast, yeah.
And so like respect. She's still part of like an industry that I fucking detest, but beyond that, like as an individual, mad talented.
Yeah.
Yeah, crazy talented.
Really?
Yeah.
Can I say one thing in defense of Taylor Swift?
Go ahead,
talking to the
Swiftie.
mic. Talking to the mic. Talking to the mic.
Pull the writers, because Taylor Swift only has like 2 writers on all of her songs, and every other pop song on the radio has like 9 to 11.
I mean, her writer did win Best Producer of the Year, but yeah, I hear you.
But it's like numbers. Like if you look at Tom's songs, it's Tom, and you look at Taylor's songs, Taylor Swift and the producer, and you look at any other pop song that's on the radio, and there's like
There's like
fucking
10
15
people. I agree.
Yeah.
That's true.
Agree.
Well, we lost a number one to Sam Smith one time, and the record that we were up against, like we were fucking neck and neck for this number one on Billboard. So I like after we had got edged out, and I'm talking like only like 1,000 or 2,000
Which is
like
nothing in
downloads.
the
I was
grand
like,
scheme.
fuck. Like I wanted to know what we were truly competing against outside of the machine and the promo and all the bullshit. I went and looked into it, and there was like fucking 13 writers on the song.
Wow. Okay, that's definitely an industry. That's something I hadn't even thought about, guys, about having multiple writers on music. Like I know like TV shows, movies, like all these things, a lot of times like screenplays, they have multiple writers, but a song? 13 writers for a song? Damn. I give more credit to Tom.
I was like, damn, that's
Bro, that's so
fucking
impressive
wild.
that you're doing that well. Like, I didn't realize you had that many hits, number one hits on Billboard.
Yeah. Well, it's because they never write about it.
Is there anybody else in your lane, like anyone else doing what you do?
No.
I mean, you're the original, but is there anybody else trying to do it?
Not that I know of. Certainly not at the
So
level
cool,
that
bro.
we're at right now. We're kind of standing here.
It's so cool.
Alone.
And you get paid, you don't have to pay anybody. You get that revenue when they
Yeah,
download
yeah,
it. So great.
yeah. That's
Wow.
like that's one of the, you know, aside from like not wanting to be part of that like whole industry, which is just like against my nature, like through and through. Like it's
Yes.
fucking
Good.
awesome that like I make all the beats.
Yep.
Nova shoots all the videos.
Yeah.
2-man team.
Yeah,
She's a musician in her own right.
yeah.
Aren't
so
you guys like packing up the CDs and shit and shipping them?
we were for a long time, and then
That's what
it got-
Jelly's like. You're gonna love this dude, man. He's packing all his own shit,
Yeah.
doing all his own stuff. I'm like, I
Yeah,
dig
we
it.
recently just stopped because it got so overwhelming, which was fucking awesome because my sister was a nurse in Canada, and she was a nurse through the COVID shit. So there's motherfuckers dying in the hallways and shit, and she's running around. They didn't have PPE. She's got no mask, no gloves, nothing. She's in there working with sick people all fucking day, which is like, you know,
It's horrible.
I'm like horrified for my sister.
Yeah.
And our shit started getting so overwhelming at the time. She called me. My sister calls me on her lunch break. She's in fucking tears. She's so stressed out. Like, yo, these people are dying all around me. That we got no protective gear. Like, I'm working fucking 90 hours a week. She's like just gassed. And I was like, go in there right now and tell them that you fucking quit, leave, get on a plane, and come to LA.
You're like, I have an N95 mask made out of $100 bills.
Yeah. So she went in and fucking quit and then flew out here. And now her and her husband, they set up the lights for Nova and I on our music video shoots. They
dope.
they run our e-commerce. They do customer service. They pack all the
great.
albums. It's
Nice.
fucking awesome.
Do you do any live performance?
Yeah, it's been a minute. Like my last tour
That's where
was.
the real. That's where you're gonna pack it in. No. Okay.
It depends. It's like for some people, yeah. But that's a little bit of like an antiquated system where it was like back in the day, you drop an album and then you toured that motherfucker for like.
It's the real money because the artists like Bieber and like not even Taylor Swift, they're making their money off
stadiums.
merch. They're not making their money off their
Exactly.
sale, like their
Exactly.
singles.
Why?
Because they're with a big corporation who takes all the fucking money.
Yeah, they got
You know
a
what I'm
label
saying?
that takes.
So he doesn't have to share it with anybody. They're out. Their label's taking all the money and then going, but go on tour and sell the merch. You can have that.
Exactly.
Where he doesn't need to do that.
Exactly.
Ah, okay.
Wow. And so for people to download your songs, they come to your website. They can get them off Apple and stuff. Right?
Well, I sell all of my physical. So the way that I've done it is like the music videos that I shoot with Nova are my singles on my albums.
Okay.
So those singles that have associated music videos, those go to DSPs, iTunes, Amazon, Spotify, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So you'll get like You know, most albums these days are like 11 to 13 songs. Like
Yeah.
my albums are like 21, 22, 23 songs.
Oh.
5 of those songs become music videos, which become singles that are available digitally. And the other 19 songs are just available on the CD. So if you want a
Oh.
physical album, hangovergang.com.
Yeah.
And that's where you get my physical albums. And aside from that, you can get the digital versions on the digital DSPs.
Facts matter. Rather be a offensive nut job than woke without nuts and no job. I'm not always right, but I'm never left. Facts, feelings. It's fucking great.
This is all shit that like myself and Nova and my sister, like we came up with all this stuff for the fax drop with Ben.
Love this shit.
Those are the albums.
So
there.
there you
That's
go.
dope.
Yeah, thanks, man.
God.
So
Find the good fight, man.
Yeah,
You got
I'm
support
proud,
here,
bro.
brother. Yeah,
Thanks,
keep
man.
it up, brother.
I appreciate
so
We
that.
good.
appreciate you coming on, man.
Yeah, hell yeah. Thanks for having me.
Just anytime you want. Like you're down the road. Just anytime. Just call up and be like, hey, I want to come on and promote something.
Hell yeah. I've been a
Seriously.
fan of you guys for forever. So
Dude, it's,
Appreciate it, brother.
I love hearing that. When you told me, I was like, that's fucking great because we talk about you. So
cool.
All right, guys. That was a great interview. Great time together. It's also really interesting to see when you have people like Fighter and the Kid podcast and people like Tom who enjoy each other's work independently. They come together and then what? They bring value to each other. And then they say, you know what? If you ever want to do this again, if you ever want to come on my platform, if you ever want to do this, just tell us. We'll make it happen. Learn how to bring value to others first before you demand or ask for anything in return. I think you'll end up with much better results that way. Thank you to those of you that made it to the end of the video. I greatly appreciate your support. If you're looking for other ways to support the channel, please check out the links down in the description below. You can take advantage of our offers. You can also use our promotion code when purchasing Coffee Brand Coffee. I tend to drink blend #1 black, no cream, no sugar. CoffeeBrandCoffee.com also has teas and cocos as well as their coffee selection. So go check out Coffee Brand Coffee today. If you find something you like, buy it and use our promo code and help out the channel a little bit with every purchase. If you're looking for a free way to support the channel, you can like the video, you can share the video, you can leave a comment on the video, and you can subscribe to the channel. Any of those help with the algorithm. Anytime you help with the algorithm helps get this video seen by more people. The more people that see the video, the more content I can bring to you in the future. If you want to join the discussion or interact directly with me, come over to the Discord, sign up there, join the discussions going on there, or head on over to X and follow me at PatriotDad_USA. I look forward to interacting with you in the future and bringing you subscriber-only content when I can. If you have a recommendation for a future video, topic, or reaction you want to see on the channel, please make sure to leave it in a comment or send it to the email address that was visible during the video, which is patriotdadyt@gmail.com. I hope everyone has a wonderful week. Take care of yourselves, and God bless. Go ahead and check out one of the links on the screen now to either subscribe to the channel and see the rest of the videos of the channel, or one of the carefully selected videos that you may wish to see that YouTube has used its algorithm to select for you.